What is up, legends? We are back, and we are sponsored by Bluestacks. Take a look at Outerplane again. Now, we're playing on Bluestacks because what originally happened when I used this on LG Player is that it crashes out. And so far today that I've been playing on Bluestacks, it has not crashed out. You actually saw that particular thing happen to me at the end of the last video, which I was kind of really annoyed with, but we're gonna ignore that for right now. With that said, we're gonna go in and we're gonna talk about how to start strong. And there's a few things that you can do, including some things that are kind of like quality of life. But the very first thing is you want to pay attention to your carry. Obviously, most people are using probably either Maxwell, Noah, Valentine, or Rin, whoever you decide to pick with, but obviously mine is going to be Noah because it just makes things easier. And then I got Valentine to actually support Noah as well. So with that said, you want to focus on giving her attack and making sure that she can just duke as much as possible and, you know, just go on from there. Now, I personally have with her in general, more so, I put the 3-star attack gear on her. So as you can see, we have destruction right here going on with this particular skill. And we have the attack percentage right here for the 2 set and the 4 set right there. This just works well with her. This is your carry. There should be one character that should be going towards max all the time, and that should be your carry, the one who's going to be doing the heavy lifting, the one who's going to be doing the most damage and all that type of stuff. So you also want to go with that as far as the skills as well. You get this going in Skyward Tower and then Arena Shop and then the Ruins too. So don't get too worried about it. Just make sure that you get it all the way up to 2 and you should be good from go from there. You see my character, my Noah.
Is there something you needed the prodigy for?
Bam. He's 40 now.
No doubt about it. I'm a genius.
And then you move on to your second character. Now you see this right here, this is a little bit of a trap. Don't do this right away. The game will give you this currency. Just, you know, just hold off. Start getting the rest of your characters up to 40. It looks nice. It looks cool that you can actually limit break and farm for that, but you don't really need to. Just let the game do it. The game will eventually start to give you that currency. It won't give you all of it, but it'll give you most of it, so you can figure out how much you need from there. So you move on to your second carry, which for me is going to be Valentine. Obviously, I don't have much for that, but I can.
This is ridiculous.
She dissed me. She's like, I ain't enough. But same feel goes to her.
Have you got business with me?
Give useful stuff to her as well. Don't be afraid to use the green and blue gear when they're at tier 3 and tier 4, or star 3 and star 4 or star 2, because they're statistical upgrades over the red gear. It doesn't look like it because obviously it's red gear and they're going to give you some stats and everything else like this, but for the most part they're more robust stats, so take advantage of them, especially if they're useful to whatever the character is. Like, she's an attacker, I'm getting attack, I'm getting crit chance and effectiveness. You're gonna end up with better, and plus she gets a little bit of life and stuff like this. This is still early game, so you don't need to go crazy in the beginning. It's fine excuse me, it's fine to actually, you know, use this gear a little bit, because you can take the gear off and break it down again. You can salvage it and then turn around and use it for what you need. The next thing we're going to talk about is the base. So the base is pretty par for the course. You want to go as far as you can, which I believe is was the beginning of chapter 3 that you open the base, or maybe the end of chapter 2. But at any rate, you want to go down to at least to this point right here, that you can unlock your automatic skill chain, the automatic burst, so you don't have to actually pay attention to every single fight, because that gets tedious. And when you get far enough in chapter 3, they'll give you 3 of these as well, so you can go ahead and open up all the combat, so then you're good and you never have to look at this again. Next thing over here is the automatic particle generation. Now what you're going to want to do is start to head down this a little bit to start to add lines, but you definitely want to do this first, because this adds time onto the idle, so you don't have to come back as fast right away. And the more you go down the line, the more minutes that you can add to it, until the point it gets to like maybe like I think it gets like 10 or 12 hours that you can literally just get yourself a good night's sleep if you're one of those people who like to play and then go to sleep and then wake up in the morning and you're still not you're not idle capped. You can just come and do it and then go about your business. Like, say if you got to go to work or something like that, or you just got something else to do, or you just don't want to play the game, you can just come back every 10 hours. There you go. Same thing right here, add lines for growth, so it gives you growth materials. You just want to go down the line and get all these because this gives you clear tickets, which is useful. So my next two things I'm going to be getting, next points I get idle wise, will be this to add a line and this to get growth tickets, and then we'll head down and then increase our storage again. And then eventually I'll open up Kate's workshop. I personally ignore expedition team and supply module because until they get to like all the way at the bottom of theirs, they're kind of like lame. So I go straight to Kate's workshop, for being honest. Because what you can essentially do, as you can see, is as long as I got the antimatter, you can just straight open it up. So it's up to you. If you want to open up the other stuff and then use them for whatever reason and you like them like that, go for it. But I personally don't like them. And my previous runs, it seemed like it was a waste of time to even do them. So it's just me. Now, like I said, when they're all the way done, then they're good in the OP, but you got to get to that point first. So I might as well, for me, I'm going to do that last. I'd rather do something else. So the next thing up we're going to talk about is what happens at chapter 3. Now, this game has a cycle. I'm going to tell you the game loop and the cycle before you even have to experience it yourself, so you never get stuck. This will keep you from ever getting stuck in the game, period. What happens is right around, usually around 10, but sometimes it's 11. What the game will do is it'll introduce a boss to you, which it was this one, 311. It introduces a boss to you, and you're gonna notice that like my power was like at 16k when I got here, but the boss was 18k. What that is officially telling you to do at that point is go farm gear. Because what's gonna happen every stage, that deficit gets larger and larger. And as you get to like maybe like 10 or something like this, you're gonna notice that like, hey, I'm like 45k and this says 54k. And essentially what that is that you're every single stage you're actually falling behind power because you're not getting the gear that the game wants you to actually get. Now, if you get gear according to where the game wants you to get, you end up actually catching it. Though you never fall behind once you know that. Once you know that particular thing, you never literally fall behind. It works the same way in hard mode all the way to the end. That's why I said once you get certain characters, you literally can go all the way to the end of the game. Epic 7 worked the same way too. That's just how their power scaling works. That the game essentially wants you to go and get these particular things. You don't have to do it, and you can still win without it if you use Strat and and then if you use Noah and Valentine, you can kind of brute force your way through it sometimes too and be like 10 and 20k power down on fights, but you don't have to be. So with that said, now that you know that, okay, you're gonna be like, okay, well, Scion, what do I do? But the game essentially wants you to do when you see that deficit right there is it wants you to head over here and start paying attention to this stuff. Now, the key in here is that you have to actually use the previous monster's gear to make it easier for the next monster, and so on and so forth. So you're gonna notice that to actually go down here, like you see, like I'm all the way down to like stage 5, like right now, and essentially you can end up all the way down to like 9 easily, as long as you're using the proper gear and farming. So what happens now that you know that, hey, like I'm kind of behind in gear, so you notice that the drops in here are 3 and 4 star gear. Now you don't necessarily do this right away. What you want to do is you want to save stuff like this for the end of the night when you don't have anything else to do, and you see like I'm overcat right now. Say I don't actually have to play this game, or I just want to do something else like this. What I would do is I would put it on auto, let it fight at the highest level that I can complete, and then maybe I'll get some 3 star gear some red 3 or 4-star gear, because that's actually good. You have a chance of getting red 3 and 4-star gear. Or here, obviously, the higher tier that you go, the better that it'll get. And notice that, like I said previously, going through, like you start getting really good gear, so you start taking this on to start pushing down the line, and then you start taking this on to start pushing down the line. Literally, these bosses are in the tier of how hard they're actually going to be. Now, some fights will be easier depending on who you have. Like if you can counter element relatively easy, then you should be fine to like push ahead a few stages. But for the most part, you can get down Masterless Guardian easier than these other two, and then start farming all of this good stuff that's in here. Like the really interesting and cool stuff starts to be over here, where you can start getting that crit damage right there, which is why she's the third one and she's the hardest one to actually farm. So just pay attention to that. Then you have Skyward Tower, which you get some nice rewards in here. You see, like I'm at 19k right now, and we can take on Skyward Tower, and you start getting all of this fun stuff too. Go as far as you can. When you start getting to the point where you can't win anymore, stop. By the time you do all that and expend your stamina and everything else, you'll be at or beyond the cap. As long as you keep doing that game loop cycle, you will never fall behind in attack power, and you'll never struggle. You just won't. That's just the way that the game is. Now that you know that, you beat the game. Like you like level 5 right now, but like what you talk about, you beat the game because you know the game loop. This particular game loop right here is what is going to screw the majority of people who are playing this game who don't know that. Because what they're going to do is they're going to start running to the wall. They're going to start running around doing all the other type of stuff except what they actually need to do to actually bypass the wall. That's how you bypass the wall. Now, there's other things that will come into play, like when we get special events, side quests, if you get lucky and start getting drops and characters and stuff like this. There's things that's always going to manipulate that. If you're a whale, it don't even matter because you probably will never see that wall to begin with. But that is the game loop of the game and how you bypass every single wall in this game. So you're welcome, I guess. And that is what I ran into.
So what do all my little troopers want to do today?
Bruh. Yeah, I'm gonna stop before she says the other line. So the next thing that we will talk about, re-rolling and decided. Now, the reason why I'm actually mentioning this is because I see a lot of people still re-rolling and going crazy and everything else, and trust me, I get it. But the reason why I'm saying re-roll and decide, because you'll come on the point of where you'll be giving up days to re-roll, and then you'll be like a day or two behind everybody else because you're still re-rolling. So my advice to you guys is pick one character. Don't try to be greedy and go after both the characters in the banner, because that's going to take forever for you to actually get lucky and get them both in the limited summons that we got. Like if we got like 50 summons or something like that, that would be great. But we don't got that. So at the most you get 30, because we have a coupon code, I believe, circulating around that I still haven't even done yet. So I got that currency to go get. It's like Outer First or something like that. I'll put it in the comment section if I find it. But combined with that, that's 20, and then you got 30 that you can mess around in the beginning to make things a little bit easier on you to actually get characters. But I would still pick one and just go, as long as you're within the first day by the time you see this video. Now, quality of life stuff before we actually go to summon. Pay attention to your support settings, because that is where I got people. I know 2 people. I don't know who the other person is, but you got lucky. Your support settings is what characters that you're going to actually put out. Now, I don't have a lot of water units that's even going to be useful right now, so I just put Snow there for right now until I actually get Rin, if I get Rin. And obviously Noah's chilling there over there on Wind. Fire is on Valentine. Light is going to be Ava. And then I don't have anything really for Darkness, so whoever's there is there. But that's how you're going to get your friend points and stuff like this, so everybody who sees your characters will be able to use your characters once a day and get help. As far as the lobby, what you want to do is you want to go down to here. Notice I did all that from clicking this icon. Matter of fact, we're gonna change out of this Ava right here, like this. Do that for now. You gotta click on the icon, and your lobby settings is right there underneath all of this, and that's how you change the characters. Because a lot of people asked me that before, like, how do you change the characters? What's going on? You can even change the background music too. What music did I have before? I can't remember what I had. Sound like some Chrono Trigger music. I really don't remember what I had before. Definitely wasn't that. I'm just gonna keep this. That's kind of cool. Anyway, so that is all I really have for you right now. As far as we're gonna go summon in a second, you're gonna have to build Rona a little bit for the quest line.
When did I fall asleep?
So don't necessarily just ignore her, because I know everybody's going to be using Noah. They're the same element and they're the same type of class. However, Rona is actually really good for bossing to go along with Noah, because Rona defense breaks. So that just keep that in mind, that you can use them both together. And Ava gets really carried by the game. So she's not a bad healer. It's just that she doesn't decurse, or what would be called get rid of debuffs. So, but you can give her an item that will help. So it's up to you how you want to go about doing that. But don't ignore them. It's fitting that they're next to each other. Don't ignore them. For the most part, they can actually. All right, so in crazy irony, I have G-Play points, so I had G-Play points from Star Rail. So what I did is I went ahead and got these, as you can see. And what they essentially gave me is 1,000 on this currency. Now, this welcome was $1. This one up here where I'm pinging is $3. And this one right here was, I believe, $7, and that was all of my 1,100 G-Play points from Star Rail. So I figured I would just use them on this, because these were a really cheap packs, and hopefully we get some good stuff so we can go after Ren, and yeah, we'll see what happens. And I'm actually really satisfied with the game running on Bluestacks. It's sponsored, but that line isn't sponsored. It hasn't crashed all day, and I'm not getting any frame drop. So, all right, Ren, like, do me a favor, come out. Oh snap!
My name is Tanya Blanche. As a knight,
I'll be caring about ones.
I'm Fenrir. If you don't want to feel my fangs, then stay out of my way.
Okay, Fenrir.
I am Flambert.
Okay.
Hey, assistant!
Wow.
Bring me
Okay.
my toolbox.
You just gonna come out on somebody else's banner?
You're the new candidate to be my assistant?
Well, that's a dupe.
I'm Shu. I heard this was the
You can get rid of the debuffs too.
I'm Philia. Adeli, captain of
All right, well, Noah stole my Ren. Now the interesting thing is I could just mileage Rin anyway, which is probably what's gonna end up happening. This is probably for this video. We're doing this video, but I'm probably just gonna go back to Valentine. That didn't happen here either. Cause I actually don't need Rin, but I want to get her because she's the best water unit.
I'm Tia, a paramedic.
Hey,
My treatments may be slower than magic and more painful than prayer, but I will always help. So, where are your...
that's a line. That is a line, ma'am. We got Marion too. Nice. I swear this game inherently 50-50s. It just has to, because it always off banners. Yeah, they're not even supposed to come out that much.
I'm Alpha, an automaton. If you need further information...
Alpha's pretty cool too. Rip. So we got Noah dupe. That's fine.
I'm Bluebell.
I didn't mean this. I'm over all of this. Oh, we got Tio again. Good stuff. Rin, you're a jerk. I'm just gonna pity you. I don't even care. Do I have normals? How many normals I got? Probably enough to summon. I do. Give me some hype over here. How about that? Nope. No hype.
I am Sophia Alderman.
Sophia come out with a nice walk. Just Sophia and another Marion dupe. Good stuff. And we're at 91 now. Yeah, I'm not. The hell with you, Ren. I'm staying the Valentine banner. I'll save that one for later. So that's about it. And we could go over here. I'm 50.
Is there something you...
50 at 150. Cool. All the rest of these guys down here, they have dupes and...
Hello? Please, don't invest in a kid like me.
Bruh. She just told us don't use her. And I was actually gonna use her. I just want to throw her out there just to throw her. She said don't, bruh. I will catch you guys next video. Remember, this is sponsored by Bluestacks, so if you want to click the link in the description, it actually makes sense to use Bluestacks. And I know that it is sponsored, but bruh, it don't crash. It don't even crash. So, you know, I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Thank you, Legends, for getting to the end of the video. We do 3 to 4 videos every day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be first in notification squad. I love everybody who stops by, and I will see you next video. Peace.